class. Welcome. This is part 4 of a continuing series of videos that we have done for the color workshop class. So this one, in what we had discussed about last week, of course we can do these beautiful color plates and different, everybody's used different tablets and different templates, so that looks really good. So now we're going to just put it kind of all together. Again, you don't have to do this part. You're more than welcome to keep painting, but I'm just going to just show you one of the quick methods that we use to, be able to show these, especially if you want to bring these on any kind of interviews or doing a special project, okay? Again, this was all hand painting. And again, this is the type of thing that we were talking about last week. You all had, a lot of you had sent in images of that new color, green quartz. So this is a smaller version, how we put those together, and then this is actually great for projects. Sometimes you just need small kind of visuals to show what color story you're doing. This one was it's called Living Coral, and you can see there's nice images on there. Again, it doesn't have to be, if it's an interior design type of thing, then I would suggest a combination of interior design, maybe a piece of fashion reference, and in general you can do that. Same thing with fashion, because remember, whenever you see fashion designers, it's not that they just take something out of the air. They actually really think about color, and they plan and the color companies plan their selections 2 years in advance. So this is the type of thing that we will end up having. Once I get your images in, down the line I'll be able to have this finished, and it will be for the department, okay? Again, we are doing these templates, but I wanted to show you, this is actually the use of a straight color chips. This is all hand painted. This is the type of work that we do in our studio. This is Pierre Frey, a French luxury line, which is a beautiful company. But again, this is all hand painted. Again, if you look closely, you see this beautiful line work and very balanced colorway. And at the end, believe it or not, we've got close to probably 12 colors in here. Probably closer to maybe even 16 or 17. And this is the item that goes to the mill along with the screens for the other, okay? So this is why we do this. Gabriel did one last week was digital. Now Gabriel's would be sent digitally, and then again he'll be able to work his colors in to get 3 or 4 different color plates, just like we did. Gabriel would do his digitally, and it's good to learn both, hand painting and digital, because you could see the way the colors work and everything. So it's good to learn both. I always, at FIT, we try to do a 50-50 type of percentage, color plates and digital, okay? And again, some can be very simple, 3 or 4 colors, but see the intricate detail. And this is what also helps sells the clients. A lot of times you do these color plates in hopes of the client giving you the okay and then running the product, because that's how you expand your business and make money, is the clients, sometimes interior design firms, designers, buy your artwork along with producing it, okay? So you want to try to get them to do the whole package. Now, as you remember last week, I actually finished mine, so I did my homework. I finished mine, again, different shades of greens. This was my original. Really kind of nice, pretty, and I was lucky because one of the colors that we picked was green quartz, which works with this. So whatever you need to make, you can make a bigger board if you like, or a smaller one. I'm going to throw on a thing of fabric too that I think would really, add to it. So here is, definitely use 2-sided tape. or definitely use glue stick, works really well. Have your X-Acto knife handy, and have your scissors handy. So this is another thing that I think I put it on the list, but again, it's a touch more expensive, but you can buy it at Blick by sheets, and it's called Duo-Tack. So what is really amazing about this is it just peels off, and then this other side is sticky, so when you want to set your artwork down, it just sticks right down, which is, you know, pretty amazing. And it just, you know how sometimes after a year or so, or even 6 months, everything starts kind of rippling underneath. And this method kind of foregoes that. So what I'm going to do right here now, again, have your rulers handy, have your color plates ready. Oh, actually, this is a start on the Genius one. It's in its rough shape, but I just want to show you this is one way of working on this. I started by just working with all the colors, you know, the greens, the blue greens, the violet reds. I'm not decided yet if I'm going to go darker on some of these other ones that I left out, like black, or just a darker shade of that. But this will be really fun, and that's why I think it's a good one for you guys to practice with. You know, get different hues and everything. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife here, and I don't want to waste like a whole thing on this, so I'm going to actually do this in 2 segments. I've got my, you can use illustration board. I put heavy cardstock. Also, you can do a double one and then tape it from the back, so thus it's easier to transport. And so what I'm going to first do is just do a few larger strips of this and really make it really nice. And again, just not to use up every bit of this. Be very careful. I've actually got a plastic ruler, but I think for starting or any time, metal is much better, because a lot of times with a sharp X-Acto knife, you can easily either be careful not to cut your hand and also cut into the ruler, okay? So this is the one that I used, okay? So what I just made it, so I've got 2 sides to this now. So I'm going to stick the one side right here in the back and rub it down, okay? Now I'm going to use another sheet of this, again, to get that kind of straightness, bend it back, do it again. And again, with the X-Acto knife class, be very careful of your fingers. They're a lot, you know, sometimes if you're not paying attention, or even if you are, I've had many cuts on my fingers due to this, and it's the last thing you want, okay? So now I've got 2 of these pieces. I actually made one a little bit too big, so I'm going to just cut it down a little. And then I'll use this strip for something else. I'll also be able to show you fabric. And here I go again. I'm taking off the sticky part, and I'm just going to put this one down here, okay? So now I've got 2 areas that I'm going to pull off, and make sure that this would be a nice stick without that rippling effect. It lays really well. Got to have sharp fingernails for this. And it looks like this. So wherever your placement is, I thought about this, so I wanted my placement right about here. And I already went to town with my color strips, like you'll be able to do. So I'm going to cut these down a bit. I'm going to put them right under here. But again, do not cut when things are still dry. Still wet. It's much better to take your time. And see how you just see how I just slipped on the plastic ruler. So if you do have a metal ruler, it's much better. again, I flow that back, and I get this all set to have my color tabs. And again, you can make them any size you want. I usually make them about, 1 1/4. Again, depending on the client. Remember, class, a lot of you will be working for different companies, and you're going to have to make sure that with these companies, you ask them what they want, because this is more home furnishing, of course, but you do apparel, they might be matching your blouse print to, they're definitely going to be probably matching it to a cardigan, they'll be matching it to maybe shoes and that type of thing, so they're going to want those chips also. So a lot of times, the more the merrier is the size of chips, but also that's really your responsibility to ask them that, okay? So again, we're getting back to the cutting phase. I know that I don't need this one extra one sitting there. I'm gonna cut that off right now. And again, remember those strips that I used before? I'm gonna get them back out. And look at, class, it's almost a perfect match. So I could just cut this down a bit and then use that, okay? So what we're going to do now is finish this side. I'm cutting this down, and then next I'm going to just give you a little bit more on this and show how to do the fabrics, and then we'll have an end product, okay? Yeah, thanks a lot.